Today's scripture reading is Luke 15:11-32, the parable of the prodigal son. And he said, there was a man who had 2 sons. And the younger of them said to his father, Father, give me the share of the property that is coming to me. And he divided his property between them. Not many days later, the younger son gathered all he had and took a journey into a far country. And there he squandered his property in reckless living. And when he had spent everything, a severe famine arose in that country, and he began to be in need. So he went and hired himself out to one of the citizens of that country, who sent him into his fields to feed pigs. And he was longing to be fed with the pods that the pigs ate, and no one gave him anything. But when he came to himself, he said, how many of my father's hired servants have more than enough bread, but I perish here with hunger? I will arise and go to my father. And I will say to him, Father, I have sinned against heaven and before you. I am no longer worthy to be called your son. Treat me as one of your hired servants. And he arose and came to his father. But while he was still a long way off, his father saw him and felt compassion and ran and embraced him and kissed him. And the son said to him, Father, I have sinned against the heaven and before you. I am no longer worthy to be called your son. But the father said to his servants, bring quickly the best robe and put it on him, and put a ring on his hand and shoes on his feet. And bring the fattened calf and kill it, and let us eat and celebrate. For this my son was dead and is alive again. He was lost and is found, and they began to celebrate. Now his older son was in the field, and as he came and drew near to the house, he heard music and dancing. And he called one of the servants and asked what these things meant. And he said to him, your brother has come, and your father has killed the fattened calf, because he has received him back safe and sound. But he was angry and refused to go in. His father came out and entreated him. But he answered his father, look, these many years I have served you, and I never disobeyed your command, yet you never gave me a young goat, that I might celebrate with my friends. But when this son of yours came, who has devoured your property with prostitutes, you killed the fattened calf for him. And he said to him, son, you are always with me, and all that is mine is yours. It was fitting to celebrate and be glad, for this your brother was dead and is alive. He was lost and is found.
Today's theme is longing to be invited. Our scripture focus is Luke chapter 15, verse 21-23. And the son said to him, Father, I have sinned against heaven and before you. I'm no longer worthy to be called your son. But the father said to his servants, bring quickly the best robe and put it on him, and put a ring on his hand and shoes on his feet. And bring the fattened calf and kill it, and let us eat and celebrate. So, even though this man's son had taken part of his father's property, and just left in all definitions of the word, wasted this money on things that he didn't need, things that he just wanted. When he came back, he was invited in back to his father's house to be a part of his family again. Because as we do bad things, we sin, doesn't mean that God doesn't want to invite us back into his house. And that can also be seen with the older brother. I think it was the older brother. The brother that stayed.
The older brother.
The older brother. The older brother stayed, and he was good. He was a great kid, did everything his dad said, never disobeyed him. But the father didn't need to celebrate when he got back because he never left. He didn't go anywhere. He didn't do anything wrong. He didn't need to celebrate his return because he was appreciating him now. Here are some things I want you to think about. Why are you called to camp? Even though camp isn't in the traditional form, think about why you are watching these videos and doing these activities. What makes a person feel welcome in an activity, a location, an environment?
You need 2 seconds of attention.
This needs to be part of the video.
This is inviting. I'm inviting Scout to be a good boy, but he's being a goober, aren't you? Say yes. Okay. Oof. And down you go. Go. Go lay down. Let's go lay down. How do you help other people feel welcomed, whether that be at a school activity, at your house? Think about how you do that. And how does God send invitations to you? And just take a moment of silence and imagine God sending you an invite to camp. What does that look like to you? And why does He want you to be a part of that experience? So we also have another activity called prayer mandalas. And they are a form of art that have been used throughout history. And we have one that was created that is specifically a Norwesca one that you can print out in color. Or we have another website with some templates that we found. Or you can make your own. All you have to do is get a piece of paper, some coloring utensils, and start with a circle. And just be still and quiet and let your hand guide you as you decorate this circle. That is your prayer mandala, and use that to think about your invitation to camp this week.
Okay, so today's closing prayer is short, sweet, and to the point. Dear God, thank you for inviting all of us to be a part of your kingdom. We greatly appreciate all that you have done for us. In your name we pray, amen.